Hi, this is Paul Money at the Holmes County Ticket with Coaches Chat. I'm with fifth-year girls soccer coach at West Holmes, Josh Wengerd. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you, Paul.
Josh, what a lot of people might not know is that the boys and girls soccer programs in the OCC have a end of the season tournament that's actually part of their regular season. And each year you participate in that. You're seeded after your regular season results in the conference play. And can you talk about that and how that helps you gear up for the state tournament?
Yes. I think, first of all, they call it the OCC tournament, and it is part of our regular season, so it always causes some confusion.
Yeah.
Parents that their girls are playing for the first year, they'll say, well, it's tournament. No, it's regular season. We play a 16-game regular season. 13 of our games are scheduled. The last 3 are miscellaneous or, to be determined, basically. Sure. And most conferences, you play your conference opponents twice throughout the year, home and away. The OCC, you just play the conference opponents once, and you earn like a point for a win, a half a point for a tie, and they seed you that way. After you've played everybody once, then they seed you and do this little 3-game tournament at the end of the season. And it is a regular season game, but it does help prepare for the tournament run because there has to be a winner. In regular season soccer, there's no overtime. If the game ends in a tie, it's a tie. But for this tournament, there's got to be a winner. So they have an overtime procedure and even PKs if it would come to that. So it's a good way to prep your team for that tournament when, maybe you've had the experience of going through an overtime session and winning with a golden goal or going to PKs and winning or losing. And so your team kind of has a sense of what to expect come postseason.
Sure. So how did you do in the OCC tournament last year?
Last year we went on a little run and we won the thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very exciting. West Holmes has never been a hotbed for girls soccer, and we just started clicking at the right time. We opened up. The lower seeded team has to travel.
Right.
And so we.
So where were you seated? Where were you seated?
We were the 6th seed out of seven teams. Orville does not have a girls soccer team.
That's right. Okay.
So we were playing at Madison. It rained a whole bunch the night before. They had problems with their drainage. The field was soaking wet. They called us. They actually wanted to come to West Holmes and play. Our athletic director at the time said no. He was worried about ticket takers and concession workers and all that stuff.
Rounding all that up.
Yeah. So last minute. So they ended up moving the game to like behind their middle school or elementary school is a practice middle school football field. I mean, it was a tiny little dinky field. The field was small. It was just terrible. But we got through regulation, 80 minutes, no score. We went into overtime. I think they play like maybe 2 10-minute overtimes or something like that. And, we get through the first overtime. Nobody scores. We go to the second one, and Alex Brown hits a shot from probably 25 yards out, 30 yards out. Just perfect placement over the keeper. Goal, game's over. Girls are all excited.
Right.
I'm crying. And I really was. I mean, it was so emotional because we had worked so hard. We beat Mansfield Senior before, but that was our only conference OCC win. That's the only team we'd ever beaten. So to beat somebody else, it just validated everything we've been working for. And it was emotional for the girls, for me.
Right.
And then after that, then we had to go to Clear Fork. So we had to play Clear Fork, and they were ranked like 10th in the state at the time that we played them, and we beat them 2-0.
Nice.
And then Lexington upset Worcester, so we had to go to Lexington for the final, and we had played them to a draw earlier in the season, and I think we scored a late one there. It was like 2-1. It was 1-1 for most of the game, and we scored a late one and got out of there with the OCC championship.
So OCC championship.
Tournament championship.
Tournament champions,
yes, and not regular season champs.
And that moved you into the state tournament right away. Your next game would have been a state tournament game. So now you have all that momentum moving in the state tournament. And what maybe a lot of people didn't know is you reached all the way to the regional semifinals last year in the tournament. So talk about that little run. I know you said the OCC tournament run was exciting for you, but I'm sure the state tournament run was even more exciting.
Yeah. I mean, we think with our tough conference that prepares us for the tournament run, the true postseason, hopefully a little better than other teams in the Eastern District. And So we went down to Philo. It's a big, long bus ride. Takes forever to get down there. And we handled our business against a couple teams, and then we met up with Riverview in the district. It's a one-game district for us. Riverview's just a good program. They've had our number for years. Kind of our arch nemesis, perhaps. And I have a lot of respect for their head coach, Dave Kreidler, great guy, kind of a mentor to me. And they just always have our number. We'll play it really good for a half against them, then they'll get 4 second-half goals. And I think last year they beat us 4-0 when we played them regular season.
So you lost them in the regular season 4-0.
Yeah.
Now you're playing against them in the district final.
District final. We changed some girls. We put some girls on some of their key players, and we kept them scoreless. And again, went to overtime and had a pass from Rebecca Chamberlain out on the right wing to one of our forwards, Jordan Buchanan, and she put it over their keeper. And we beat Riverview, golden goal. Again, very, very emotional. I was crying.
Still
again.
almost riding the wave there.
Yeah, and then on to regionals from there.
Of course, we won't talk about how that game ended, but might be a little sour note to this whole thing. But you talked about a couple seniors you mentioned. A couple seniors were part of that run. Were there some girls that are still on the team that experienced that and can help you in this year's tournament run?
Yeah, our goalie Shelby Harris, she's been around for a while. Courtney Kozak, our center defender, Abby Callahan, Mallory Wall. Those girls were all key parts of last year's team. So we have a pretty good core of players back.
Great.
We did graduate a lot, but we're able to fill it with some good young talent.
Awesome. Well, that's Coach Wengerd, the Lady Knights head coach out at West Holmes. Make sure you go out and watch them this year. They got an exciting young core of players, and make sure you get your ticket and make sure you keep watching our videos. Thanks so much.